Hey, St. Thomas's, I'm here with parishioner John Wright here at his office, and we're having a conversation about Advent, continuing the conversations that I've had with parishioners. So, John, Advent's about longing, waiting for. What particular are you longing for or waiting for this Advent season?
Well, longing and waiting. I think of the waiting maybe a little differently because I don't like to think of it as being too passive. I like the notion of longing, of anticipation, of looking forward. And I really think of looking forward to something peaceful. I want to say peace, but I don't mean it in the terms of the absence of something, but peace as a really deep presence. So looking forward, and I like to think of that in both senses of that term. Both, I really want it to come, I'm anticipating it, and I'm looking into the future for it. So you asked me about longing and Advent, and when Advent comes, for me, it really is about looking forward to a peace.
Is there, given everything that's kind of going on in the world or whatnot, is there anything in particular that marks this Advent as maybe a little bit different than past Advents?
Well, because it's this Advent, and when you think of the larger world, or for instance, think of politics, how can we not? And people always say this is the election that's the most important ever. And the thing is, that's the truth, because this is the one in front of us.
Yeah.
So in a sense, this is the most important Advent of our lives because it's this year. And it's the one that allows us the chance to find our own rebirth based on where we are now, based on this combination of the internal and the external environment, the world around us, the circumstances, economic, political, social, religious, and our own internal circumstances. Where are we in terms of where am I? I can't speak for anyone else. Where am I in terms of my own internal peace, and what are the opportunities I have? Of course, it's related to the circumstances of the world, political, economic, religious. It's related to my own internal circumstances as a person, my relationship with myself, with my God, with my church, with my family. So I think understanding that here and now really is where I am, and that's where my attention has to be if I'm going to make good plans for myself and maintain a good relationship with my God for my future. I can't look back, and I have to be sure that I'm making the right kinds of preparations. So back to Advent, not passive, but active preparation. Not just waiting, and not longing as in sitting back, but taking myself forward.
An active engagement.
An active engagement and making myself ready. Making myself ready. I've learned that. I'm learning that about Advent, the making myself ready part. I didn't think of that before.
And being, I guess, fully present in the moment as well,
Right.
this particular moment in time, and looking what's going on.
Right.
So,
That's why this particular Advent is so important, because it's this moment in time, and I want to be present.
So another thing of Advent, the beginning of Advent, we kind of talk about it more, but the idea of Jesus coming back. So the first time, the second time, and artists, theologians, everyone's kind of speculating on what exactly is this going to look like. So John, what do you think it's going to look like?
Right. The second coming, what does that look like? I go back to peace. What am I looking forward to? What am I anticipating? A peace. And I see that that's what the second coming would be. It would be the coming of a peace. I think that's what the first coming was, or was hoped for, was hoped to be. Peace by way of redemption, peace by way of absolution, and heaven knows we could all use both. Peace by way of rebirth and opportunity. I don't know what that looks like, so I'm describing more of a feeling than a look, I guess. But that's what my sense of God's coming is. It is a peace, it is opportunity, and it really is rebirth. So I think rebirth, if I can attend carefully to it, rebirth can happen a number of times during my life.
Yeah.
And that's part of what the second coming would be more of a global opportunity for a rebirth.
And doing things differently. Perhaps.
Where it's necessary.
Yeah.
Let's keep the things that work.
Yeah. Okay, sounds like a plan.
But where we need to do something different, let's have the wisdom to do that.
Well, great. Well, thank you, John, for your
Thanks for
wonderful
asking me.
Advent reflections, and you're dressed in blue, which is appropriate for
I
Advent.
was trying to be liturgical. Is that Thanks for asking me.
No problem. And we'll keep these Advent conversations going. Happy Advent.